Hey, it's a Trigger, Rich Trigger, back for another 2 p.m. with Trigger Live. Hey, it's Monday. How you doing? Can you believe another Monday has rolled around so quickly? As Had a great time. Been out on the road the last several days, and it's been great to be back in studio. In fact, I'm working with some new gear, new microphone. I got a Rodecaster. I'm working with some of the media tools to keep elevating what I do, and I'll be helping you elevate with some of the new tools I've got as well. So it's great to be back in studio. Coming up tonight, we do have a book launch party going on and looking forward to doing that. That will be a hybrid event this evening. Going to be going back out again and working with Rod Bourne. He has a book release. We're going to go out to a local tap house, Max's Tap House in Baltimore, and we're going to be doing a live streaming event there with a live audience. Looking forward to that. Part of the reason for the new gear, got to have some great new stuff to work with when you go to these amazing events like that. But I want to talk today about leveraging your in-person events. I did just get back from being on the road down in Miami, working with Blue Talks. I gave a Blue Talk, a brand new keynote that I'm putting out there for many of my in-person events that I'll be doing. And Blue Talks is a great opportunity. If you do not know about it, it's kind of like a TED Talk, but TED Talks is more business, professional, more career-based. And TED Talks has taken a step more into the personal life space and even to the spiritual faith area as well. So it is a little bit different. I did do a keynote on brand authority and brand messaging and those things and how to rock the stage, of course. So that's where my area was this weekend. Great crowd, international crowd was on hand. We had a marvelous weekend and also got an interview in with the creator and producer of Blue Talks, Corey Poirier. But when you're at these events, when you start going back out in person, are you prepared to leverage these at the highest level? That's what I want to ask you about today. Are you ready to leverage these fully? Now, what do I mean by that? Now, yes, you want to amplify them. You want to pre-promote them, which, again, if you aren't doing that yet, you should be promoting even your in-person events. Even if people will not come, you need to be mentioning, highlighting. You do your online stuff, and you also have the in-person appearances as well. They're very strong. They get a lot of attraction. So make sure you are leveraging those events. Promote, like I did this past several weeks, Corey Poirier, Blue Talks. Promote some of the other speakers, but elevate that to your full potential. Now, when you're on site, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to make this even better for you in the long term? One of the things I did, I made sure I did get an interview with Corey on stage. Not everyone had that opportunity, but when you're there, leverage your on-stage and off-stage time. I did several lives since I couldn't do my 2 p.m. lives here like I normally do. I did do live, and it wasn't just about me appearing at Blue Talks. I grabbed other people from Blue Talks to highlight them. Leverage your in-person events. Get somebody, talk about things, interview them, discuss what their conversation is, what are they doing, what's their passions, and make sure you leverage that. Always take as many photos as you can. One of the fun things that we did this past weekend was we traded our phones all the time. If someone was going to get a photo, 6 other people took photos of them as well. And now we're sharing photos and resharing. There's a different angle. There's different lighting. There's different things you can get from different people taking photos. And if you're in a group like that that wants to help amplify each other, take advantage of those people. Give them your cell phone, open up that camera, and go make some poses. We had the BLU letters of Blue Talks. We got on stage. We held the letters. 2 other people got on stage. Now, here you go. Another photo opportunity. Not just me on stage. Now it's 2 other people. And then we rearranged and shuffled who was holding the letters. We jumbled up the letters. We had some comedy ones. But we were taking in full advantage of the props we had for Blue Talks for more photo opportunities. Now, the other big one, and I was the only one I believe that did it all weekend long intentionally. I intentionally, for the first day, I knew I was going to be interviewed, and I knew I was going to do my Blue Talk later in the afternoon. I intentionally brought 2 changes of clothes, costume changes. If you're going to be on one stage and you have the chance to appear twice on that stage, or if they have that red carpet type of opportunity, which you talked about recently, make sure you bring extra clothes along and do a costume change between your on-stage performances. Utilize this as a chance to get great footage, 2 different outfits, all in one setting. And again, people were trading cameras, taking a lot of shots. I have probably well over 100 different photos of me in different settings, different outfits. I did 3 different costume changes over the course of the weekend because Saturday was still going on and we were still hanging out. So I took full advantage. We even had an extra microphone. And we all took turns doing extra stage time with a different mic, not the mics we had been mic'd up for during our presentation. We were totally leveraging all the media all the time so that you have great social media posts to repurpose. I'm going to be using these photos in so many different ways now, and it will keep it live and active. So when you go out live and in person, leverage those in-person events. Recently, I've talked about that I have a digital business card. I was sharing and scanning that card all weekend long, getting more connections with other people. Also, after our events, we went out for lunch. We went out for dinner. I met with a client down there that was in the Miami area. I leveraged the event to meet with a client. What are you doing to leverage your in-person events? Are you taking the photos? Are you taking costume changes? Are you making sure you gather not just business cards, but good contacts to intentionally follow up? Are you doing lives when you're there at these events? Are you trying to secure clients and maybe have someone in the area like I did? Make sure you take the time to do business, to be on stage, to promote, highlight, and grab all the media assets you can all the time. That was one of the biggest takeaways from my keynote, by the way. I'm talking about the media brand authority and how to be a media empire. The thing that was so interesting was people did not think about the idea of repurposing. And the idea was that they had never thought about what they could do with all this stuff. Some of them said junk at the beginning, and they realized it's not junk anymore. This is good content. This is good material. So please, when you're out on the road, when you're doing these in-persons, think ahead. I intentionally took extra clothes to be on stage, to have these extra shots done. So I had branded material, different fashions, different styles, different motifs, so that my media would keep being elevated. The media brand that I present is elevated. Do a sit down with somebody, even if it's staged in 2 chairs. Make it look like you're doing an interview. Do a real interview. Do a podcast. Do streaming content. But leverage your time. Every live event now, every live event that you do in person is worth amplifying bigger and bigger afterwards. That was the other big takeaway that people had at the end. I shared the story of I Love Lucy, and Lucy and Desi Arnaz were the first ones to come up with syndicated programming. The first one to say, let's do a rerun. It blew the people's minds that reruns were that important. But if you have content, if you have good content, you should be leveraging it like reruns, like syndication, and you should be pushing it out larger and larger and larger. Let me ask you, what are you doing today to prepare for your next event? Do you have extra clothing for your next event? Do you have business cards? Do you have digital business cards ready to go? Are you mentally prepared to do everything you can to take full advantage of the people there, to connect with them, amplify them while they amplify you? What are you doing during your next event, in-person event, to leverage your full ability to help you and your brand shine further and further? If you want to know more about this type of leveraging of your media and identity, contact richbontrager.net, rich@richbontrager.net, or simply go to howtorockthestagemedia.com. That's rockthestagemedia.com. I'd love to be able to help you out, to help you elevate your brand authority So you never miss these opportunities to go further and further. And by the way, there's never a bad picture. There's never a bad video. It's how you purpose it, share it, brand it, market it. It's all good stuff. Take full advantage of it. Hey, until tomorrow, I'm the Trigger Rich Bontrager. I'll see you back here at 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. live with the Trigger, Monday through Friday, right here. We'll see you then. And have any questions, let me know. I'd love to hear from you.